Alright, it's against the odds time. We are playing Worldfire in Modern, and that's a lot of lands for our 20 land deck. We'll keep it though. Ideas Unbound helps. Flooded Strand into an island, Gitaxian Probe. So we need to find a Spellweaver Helix, also Gifts Ungiven. Those are the two cards we're really looking for. Probe, Daybreak Coronet. Oh, it's Boggles. Alright, opponent leads on the Dryad Arbor. Shivan Reef into Ideas Unbound, draw 3, discard 3 at the beginning of our next end step. Jeez, look at all these lands. We only have 20 lands in this deck. We did find a gifts though. Alright, we gotta pay the cost of Ideas Unbound, discard 3, Wooded Foothills, Steam Vents, and Steam Vents. So if we just draw a Spellweaver Helix, we're in really good shape. Otherwise, yes, they are gonna start going in on the Dryad Arbor. Oh boy, we might just lose to Dryad Arbor. Oh! Well, now we're close to winning. I think we might be able to live long enough now. Oh, you get to play... Oh, wait, we can't play Spellweaver Helix yet. Now we might not be able to live long enough. Alright, pass the turn. Oh, how much damage can they do to us? A ton? We don't have any way of killing that Dryad Arbor. They're going to put a Daybreak Coronet on it. Yup. Attack us for 9. Yeah, we're going to die to that Dryad Arbor. Oh, and we can't even cast Cloudskate. That would have been the nuts. Alright, that does it. Too slow. Alright. Well, I guess we can try to bring in Pyroclasms. Going down Rift Bolts, I guess? We'll try it. Alright, we get to play first. Okay. This is much better than our last hand. So let's just go Shivan Reef into Faithless Looting. Pitch a Worldfire and a Gifts Ungiven? Yeah, Gifts Ungiven. Pass the turn. Razor Verge Thicket into Slippery Bogle. So we're probably going to have to take a turn off to Pyroclasm that. Faithless Looting. Alright, Polluted Delta. Get an island. And just Pyroclasm that Bogle. Hope that they don't have a second creature. We're getting close. Gotta find our Spellweaver Helix. Ooh, there's a Spirit Dancer. Alright, this is what we were looking for. Well, let's start by casting Probe for 2 life. Make sure our opponent doesn't have an answer in hand. Not that we can really do anything about it. Alright, they do not. Spirit Mantle. Sweet. So we get to Shivan Reef. We're gonna do it. This is gonna be it. We cast Spellweaver Helix. Get to exile 2 sorceries from our graveyard. One will be Worldfire. One will be Faithless Looting. The only downside is we don't yet have a way to win the game. We do have a Serum Visions and a draw step. This might be one where we just fire off our Worldfire and hope we draw into a way to win the game before our opponent draws into a way to kill us. They draw 2 cards, make their Spirit Dancer huge. Doesn't matter, we're both going to 1 life. So ideally we'd find our Rift Bolt. We're not dead, right? Oh, we're going to 2, which is actually okay. We can still cast our Faithless Looting, which gets us to Worldfire. Well, let's lead on Serum Visions. Put 1 on the bottom. We're going to leave... do we want a Spirit Guide on top? It does give us red mana. How do we win the game? Lands, our Suspend cards, a Rift Bolt. Probably want the Rift Bolt. Spirit Guide to the bottom. Then we will exile the Simian Spirit Guide, Faithless Looting. We get to cast a Worldfire. Wipes away everything. Draw 2, discard 2. Alright. We do have a Faithless Looting in the graveyard, which is good. Our opponent peels a land. Come on, no Bogle. That would be so depressing. We get a Spirit Guide. Oh, that would be so sad if they just go land into creature. Another land. We get Steam Vents tapped. That's alright. It's getting us closer to our Faithless Looting, which is good. Oh, come on. Alright. Not killing us. We get another land, which is good. We're actually a land away from just casting the Spirit Guide and going that route for the win. Alright, they didn't draw it. We get Academy Ruins. Cast the Simian Spirit Guide. Oh, we're going to get the Worldfire win. Watch them have a path. Do they have a path? Not yet. Yeah? Yes! We got there! They paid a life with Brushland. Sweet! Well, it wasn't as smooth as we hoped. We didn't have anything suspended, but it still worked. Yeah, let's run it back. All right, game 3 against Bogles. Trying to actually take down a match. This hand's not bad. We need to find a Worldfire. In theory, we can bounce something with this Cloud Skate. Not that. There's a Worldfire. Alright, Steam Vents. Would we like to pay 2 life? Yes. Faithless Looting. This might be the nut draw. So we discard... Worldfire, and... yeah, let's discard Probe. And just pass the turn. We're roughly 2 turns. We gotta live about 2 turns, I think. Well, Spirit Dancer is a good sign. That's not just killing us. Alright, let's see what we draw. We could also just Rift Bolt the Spirit Dancer. That feels bad, but it might be worth it. Probe? Ooh, well, that's even better. Well, we will just play an untapped land, Pyroclasm. Sideboard tech coming through. Whew! Now we should have a little more time to put everything together. Opponent passes. Probe? Not probe. Well, let's lead on Serum Visions. Worldfire to the bottom, Mountain to the bottom. Let's go Shivan Reef and suspend Cloudskate. So that's our way to finish the game if we can pull off our combo. Did our opponent find a threat? Not yet. Cloudskate's counting down. Flooded Strand. Well, let's just flashback our Faithless Looting. Looking for Serum Visions or Gataxian Probe. Spirit Guide. Not great. I guess we just pitch 2 lands. Island and Steam Vents. Play the Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Serum Vision, Gataxian Probe just wins us the game. It would be nice this turn before our Cloudskate comes down. Oh, Faithless Looting? Alright, that could still do it. Actually, let's crack Flooded Strand first. Get a Island. Faithless Looting. Come on. Ideas Unbound, Spellweaver Helix. Let's discard a Spellweaver Helix and a Spirit Guide. Then we'll Ideas Unbound. Draw 3, discard 3 at the end of turn. Land, untapped. Suspend another Cloudskate. And then just pass. Discard Spirit Guide, Riftbolt, Worldfire. Gotta save our Spellweaver Helix. Alright, what do we draw? We do get a Cloudskate. We might just win with Cloudskate beatdown, which is not really the plan. Well, let's bounce Temple Garden. Opponent's gonna path the Cloudskate. Get a Mountain. Alright, come on, we're so close! We are a card away. Polluted Delta is not the card. Let's flashback our Faithless Looting. Draw 2, discard 2. Discard Worldfire and Polluted Delta. And then we'll just pass the turn. Next turn might be the turn. We have so many cards in our graveyard. Is our opponent going to go with the Dryad Arbor? There's Dryad Arbor, so they're going to be able to start the beats. So we really need to make it happen next turn. There's Ethereal Armor. I don't think our Cloudskate comes down in time. Yeah, 2 more turns. Rancor, untap land. Alright, we're taking a big hit here. We gotta find it. Probe, Serum Visions. We get a bunch of draws. Cloudskate counts down. Come on. Let us draw it to win this match. Gifts doesn't do it. Well, Ideas Unbound. Draw 3, discard 3 at the end of turn. Faithless Looting! Oh, we whiffed! Oh, we whiffed. We don't have a looting in our graveyard. We're halfway through a deck and we couldn't find it. Well, let's looting. I guess looting still gives us a chance. Oh, and we're one. No, we can do it. Oh, man. This is going to keep us alive at least. But we're going to be empty-handed. Well, pitch, but at least we get to stay alive. Shivan Reef, Exile Spirit Guide, Riftwing Cloudskate to bounce the Dryad Arbor. But now we need to find another Spellweaver Helix to really combo off. But we didn't really have a choice. We had to do this or we would just die next turn. We will be able to, we got to discard our Spellweaver to Ideas Unbound. We will be able to flashback looting next turn to look for another Spellweaver. Our opponent didn't even play Dryad Arbor. That was interesting. Let's see what we draw. I guess they're going to fetch up another one. Well, Cloudskate. Let's just bounce Temple Garden. Opponent's going to crack Windswept Teeth. Gets a Temple Garden. Well, that gives us hope for next turn. Attack with both. Put our opponent to 9. We just got to pass here. Oh, we're still looking for another copy of Serum Visions, Gataxian Probe. We get a Faithless Looting to find it. We only got 26 cards left. We gotta be able to find it. Well, let's Faithless Looting. Come on, one time. Ideas Unbound. We are a mana short from doing both. We have we have one Spirit Guide left. Well, I guess we pitch land and Ideas Unbound. We can Ideas Unbound, exile Simian Spirit Guide, play Spellweaver Helix, exile Worldfire, and I guess we go with Gitaxian Probe. Pass the turn, see if we can block our way to stay alive. Oh, they have a Nature's Claim. Oh, well, now we attack, hope for the best. Now we need to find our last Ideas Unbound. What a crazy game. Oh my goodness. We're gonna lose though. Unflinching Courage gonna gain our opponent a ton of life. We are pretty close to outs. We need a Spellweaver Helix. They're one card short. One single card. So how can this work? Can it work? We don't have enough Faithless Lootings. I guess we can just probe and hope. Path and lands. Faithless Looting. Pitch Worldfire. Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. If they draw an enchantment, we're dead. And they did. They draw a Rest in Peace, which I think still means we're dead. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, well, we won one game, and we really should have won two. Alright, against Odds Time, Worldfire combo in Modern. And this hand's pretty sweet. We got our Spellweaver Helix. Oh, not discard, please. Alright. Well, there goes our Spellweaver Helix. I assume that's what you take. When you see a random card that probably should not be in a deck and you've never heard of before, most of the time it is correct to take it. Oh, well, that was sweet. Assuming we get it down. Well, let's Serum Visions. Worldfire, Serum Visions. Gotta find a way to get Worldfire in our graveyard. Oh, we got Ideas Unbound. Wow, this is pretty close to the nut draw. If we can find one more land, which we should be able to do. Alright, let's just pass. Hopefully they don't have another discard spell, or we're in trouble. Pyromancer's Ascension? What is happening? Well, that's Ideas Unbound. Draw 3, discard 3 at the end of turn. Wow. Well, we have Worldfire next turn. We don't have a way of winning the game after Worldfire. I guess we can get Gitaxian Probe, see what our opponent has. Faithless Looting, Locket of Yesteryear, Reforge the Soul, Simian Spirit Guide. Alright. Oh, there's a Rift Bolt too. Wait, can we still do this? We can't do it all next turn though, is the problem. We would have to exile Spirit Guide, suspend Rift Bolt. Yeah, that doesn't work. Discard Gifts, and Rift Bolt. Hope our opponent doesn't draw a discard spell. Oh! Oh my god, I didn't discard Worldfire. Well, that was obviously the card we were supposed to discard. Well, that slows us down. It was supposed to discard Gifts, and Worldfire. Now we don't just have it next turn. Spirit Guide, Past in Flames, Faithless Looting discarded. Locket of Yesteryear. Simian Spirit Guide. Exiled. What are they doing? Nothing. They just exiled it for no reason? Steam Vents, that's not what we wanted. Oh, that was so bad. Serum Visions. Land to the bottom, Ideas Unbound to the top, play the Steam Vents, pass the turn. Oh, that was such a bad mistake. And our opponent draws an Inquisition to take Spellweaver Helix. Well, that's what you get for being unfamiliar with a deck. Luckily, our opponent's playing against odds as well. I don't think there's any way we hardcast Worldfire. Well, let's Flooded Strand, crack it, get an island, Ideas Unbound, see what we draw, probe. Well, let's probe. Reforge the Soul and Dream Salvage. Draw cards equal to the number of cards target opponent discarded this turn. Discard land, Worldfire, and land. They could have Ancestral Recalled with Dream Salvage. Flashes back Looting. Spells cost one less cast for each card with the same name as that spell in your graveyard. Oh, okay. Dream Salvage and Grape Shot discarded. Polluted Delta. Alright. We are on the hardcast Simian Spirit Guide plan. Opponent's gonna pass. Let's crack Delta, get a Steam Vents, tapped. There's a Worldfire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, if we hadn't cast that Simian Spirit Guide, it would be 1 mana away from actually just hard casting Worldfire. I did not expect that to be a possibility. Alright, exile Spirit Guide. Oh, they have a Waste Knot, okay. Another land. Well, attack with Spirit Guide, play the land. Technically, we are 1 mana away from hard-casting Worldfire, of all things. Still expecting it to go poorly. Alright, what do we get? Oh, alright. Well, do we win if we cast Worldfire? Problem is we will have went through a ton of our lands. But if we don't, we're probably just going to lose. Yeah, I think we got to do it. Polluted Delta, Steam Vents, untapped, exile, exile. Something I did not expect to happen during these matches. Our 20 land deck, hard cast the Worldfire. I'm not sure why our opponent's even casting things. Pyretic Ritual, unless they're going to kill us. And they scoop. Alright. I don't think we were going to win there necessarily, but we'll take it. We could bring in Dispels and Swan Songs. I don't even think it's worth it. Those are to fight against Oh, Relic! Relic! Relic would be good, though. I should have brought that in. Alright, let's see how much discard our opponent has today. None yet. And a land. Well, untap land, Faithless Looting. Gifts Ungiven, and Gitaxian Probe. And just pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Waste Not. Shivan Reef. Well, I guess we need to probe here. See what our opponent's got going on. See what we draw. Burning Inquiry, Dream Salvage, Manamorphose, Reforge the Soul, Simian Spirit Guide. Combo. We just draw a land. Yeah, I guess we just play a land and pass. Exile Spirit Guide. Oh, they just drew a Reforge the Soul. That's interesting. Well, I guess we might as well exile our Spirit Guide so they don't get another Waste Not trigger. So you get to draw a bunch of cards and add a bunch of black mana. Inquisition doesn't really do anything. Hits our Rift Bolt. Spirit Guide. Desperate Ritual. Pyretic Ritual. Faithless Looting. Well, they're playing lots of stuff. Not really doing anything. Inquisition can take our Rift Bolt. Still got 3 mana floating. Oh, so they reforged the soul and just did stone nothing? Ritualed into looting, flashback looting? That cannot be the idea of this deck. Well, let's crack Flooded Strand, get a Steam Vents, Rift Bolt, suspend the Cloudscape, play Wooded Foothills, pass the turn, another land, Desperate Ritual. You gonna Grape Shot us? Empty the Warrens? Alright, Manamorphose. Our opponent's going off. And all that ritualing for Pyromancer's Ascension. Sure. Faithless Looting. Opponent's down to 2 cards in hand and 2 mana floating. Come on, Ritual, pass. I would not be shocked. Oh, this is so absurd. I do not understand what's happening. Cloudscape starts counting down. We draw, ooh, a Gifts. Alright. Gifts is good. Pass the turn. Alright. Flashback looting, this time with no ritual. Oh, this deck is cracking me up. I'm so confused. Alright, we get to Gifts. Spellweaver Helix. Ideas Unbound. Faithless Looting. And, Academy Ruins? Sure. So either give us card draw or they give us a Spellweaver Helix, essentially. Alright, they dump Academy Ruins. I'm assuming that means they dump Spellweaver. Yep, that was their plan. So we draw. Is this coming down yet? Not yet. Let's lead on Faithless Looting. Land and land. Jeez. And then our opponent gets to add mana. Not that it's really relevant. Ideas Unbound. Yeah. So Polluted Delta, crack Polluted Delta, get an island, suspend Cloudscape, and pass the turn. So we'll pitch Steam Vents, Shivan Reef, and Worldfire. Would have pitched all the Worldfires, but we don't want to let our opponent draw too many cards. Draw a Reforge the Soul off the top, which they can miracle. Their one draw was Reforge the Soul, and the mana lets them cast it. Ooh, a good hand, too. Not instant speed good, but... Alright, let's pass the turn. So I guess this is our opponent's turn to kill us before we lock them out of the game. See how this deck works. So Manamorphose, Pyretic Ritual, Faithless Looting, alright. Doubles up on that. Another Ritual. Double Past in Flame. Everything gets flashback twice. Burning Inquiry. Each player draws 3, discards 3 at random. They get a bunch of waste not triggers. They get a zombie, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. It's actually not completely impossible that our opponent kills themselves if they cast another one of those. It's actually likely. Flashes back the ritual. Flashes back a ritual. Flashes back a ritual. Ritual. So they have all the mana they could ever want, but their clock is still counting down faster and faster. Actually, it's going the same speed, but it's almost to 5 minutes now. That's a lot of rituals on the stack. Oh man. They must... Do they just have like a single grape shot and they're trying to draw into it? Is that what's happening here? Another Pyromancer's Ascension. Another Pyromancer's Ascension. Inquisition. See, I don't know why our opponent's doing this, because their time is definitely an issue. This is just, now they're under 4 minutes. I don't think they can win a game 3. So I think we're gonna win this match because our opponent is not playing quickly enough. Alright, they take a couple things from our hand. There's Grape Shot. Grape Shot, gonna do a ton of damage. And we'll scoop it up. Alright, well, bringing in relics. Going down the Rift Bolts, I think. And try it like that. And we have a turn 1 relic, which is nice. So let's just go Shivan Reef, relic, pass the turn. It's gonna make it even harder for our opponent to win in the amount of time they have allotted. Opponent passes, we'll go Steam Vents tapped. And I don't even know if we want to probe yet. Let's not probe yet. Pass the turn. There's a Waste Knot. We get a Serum Visions. Well, let's probe, see what's going on over there. Burning Inquiry, Desperate Ritual, Pyretic Ritual, Pyromancer's Ascension, and lands. Riftwing Cloudskate. Let's suspend a Cloudskate, play a Shivan Reef, Serum Visions, Spellweaver Helix, put the lands to the bottom, and just pass the turn. I still don't think our opponent can win in the allotted amount of time. Cracks a Bloodstained Mire. We'll exile it from our opponent's graveyard. Unless they can somehow like win this turn, which seems unlikely. Pyromancer Ascension. Less scary with a relic on the battlefield. And then Burning Inquiry probably. No Burning Inquiry. Riftwing counts down. We play Academy Ruins. And just pass the turn for now. Desperate Ritual. Pyretic Ritual. Well, let's exile Desperate Ritual. Burning Inquiry. Let's exile Spirit Guide. Gifts Ungiven. Get a Worldfire and a Faithless Looting. Just search for 2 so they both go in the graveyard. Now the Burning Inquiry resolves. We still got mana up to exile the graveyard. Our opponent draws, and adds 2 mana. In response to these triggers, we're going to exile the graveyards. Not great. Like, it hits our graveyard too. But we're going to win by time, most likely. So I think it's safest just to do this. We don't have to win on the Worldfire plan. Dream Salvage. Draws our opponent a couple cards. Manamorphose. Pyretic Ritual. Simian Spirit Guide. Exiled. Burning Inquiry. We lose some stuff. Relic, gifts, and something. Reforge the Soul. Countdown is to 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Metamorphose, and... Alright, not the way we meant to win, but we win by our opponent playing incredibly slow. Alright, well, a win's a win. Alright, against odds, Worldfire. See if we can win and not just Worldfire. Sounds alright, we got cantrips and cantrips. Let's just island Serum Visions. Gifts. Well, we'll keep Probe. Do we want Spirit Guide? Actually, bottom. Yeah, let's keep both. Put on top. Put on top. Draw the Spirit Guide. Double Spirit Guide into gifts if we want to. Oh, elves. Well, let's probe. See what's in our opponent's hand. Cord, Archdruid, Mystic, Double Nettle Sentinel, and a Cavern. Do we need to just kill Heritage Druid? I think we better just kill... If we gifts, we use both our Spirit Guides. Let's just Polluted Delta, crack it. Steam Vents, yes. Ideas Unbound. I was hoping we would just hit. Well, let's exile a Simian Spirit Guide, Faithless Looting. Still no Worldfire. Discard 2 gifts and Rift Bolt. Then discard Spirit Guide, Academy Ruins. We're still in pretty rough shape. Yeah, so they can play, like, everything in their hand. Luckily, we do have Pyroclasm in our sideboard, which is solid. So they can just keep tapping and untapping these Nettle Sentinels with Heritage Druid. This eventually ends up with Chord of Calling for something. Oh, well, I think we just Faithless Looting. Hope we draw into our Spellweaver Helix and can set up Worldfire for next turn. Well, let's pitch Riftbolt and land. Oh, I should have pitched Worldfire. It doesn't really matter. We're dead before we untap. We also kind of don't want our opponent to see the Worldfire. Not that there's really anything Elves can do about it. I should probably just scoop right here, actually. With a Chord in their hand in infinite mana, I'm pretty sure they can kill us. So yeah, I'm gonna scoop. Yep. Alright, Pyroclasms in, 3 gifts out, run it like that. Alright, we'd like to play for sure against Elves, and well, we got the Helix, got a Cloudskate. Alright, we'll try it. We can looting turn 1. We need to get a Worldfire in the graveyard as step 1. I guess we can Serum Visions turn 1, looting turn 2. That might be better. So we can scry away cards we don't want here. Aye. Actually, let's keep both of those. Can we wait to another turn? Oh my goodness. Well, that is bad news. Our plan was Pyroclasm. Well, Polluted Delta, crack it, get an island, suspend Cloudskate. Oh, Forge Tender is going to be hard for us to beat. We were really leaning on this Pyroclasm. So that just sits out there and counters our Pyroclasm. Spellskite, jeez. All the counter our stuff things. Alright, Cloudskate's counting down. Now let's Faithless Looting. There's some lands at least. I guess we're going to pitch the Pyroclasm since it's not doing anything. And then pitch Bolt. Yeah, pitch Riftbolt, Academy Ruins, pass the turn. We actually still might be able to do this depending on what our opponent has. Because at the end of our opponent's next turn, we can Gifts for Worldfire, put it in the graveyard. We're going to need one more of our graveyard cards. Is this the Lord? Azuri, alright. Scarier if our opponent had a bunch of elves, which I'm sure they will eventually. Down to 16. Cloudskate comes down next turn, which isn't bad. Just play a mountain to maintain our life total, pass the turn. Elvish Archdruid. And the problem with this deck is they can easily just draw land, 1 mana elf, and kill us from 1. So we're down to 16. Sweet Gifts. Get a Worldfire and I think a Gitaxian Probe, just in case we draw one. So Worldfire and Gitaxian Probe. They both go to the graveyard. Yeah, we need to draw one of our instants or sorcery that's in our graveyard, or one of our sorceries. Riftbolt would be the nuts. If we just draw a Riftbolt, we get the super sweet kill. We can try to bounce Azuri, but our opponent will likely redirect to Spellskite. Come on, Serum Visions, Pyroclasm, Riftbolt especially. Riftbolt just wins us the game. So bounce Azuri, opponent likely redirects to Spellskite. Spellweaver Helix is not what we wanted. So in that case, I think we need to Faithless Looting here. Lands, no! Pitch a Spellweaver Helix and a Shivan Reef. Play Steam Vents tapped, pass the turn. Oh, come on, Riftbolt! Stay back on defense just to chump. Riftbolt! Oh, for the kill! We could actually get the Riftbolt kill. Well, hopefully our opponent can't just combo off and kill us. What do they hit with? Or Collected Company, not Chord. Llanowar Elves and Shaman. Alright. Well, we're not dead. They can tap this to replay Azuri, and then we're basically dead the next turn. They do not do that. Alright, come on, big draw. There's Probe. Alright, well, it's not Riftbolt, but we do get to Worldfire. Alright, so we play the island, play Spellweaver Helix. Come on, Riftbolt off the top. That's what we want. Cloudskate isn't horrible, but Riftbolt, Gitaxian Probe. Might as well exile our Spirit Guide for 1 additional mana. Gitaxian Probe, 2 life, because we're 1/1 anyway. We get to cast our Worldfire, wipes everything away. I think our opponent can kill us here. They're going to Chord X2. That is not relevant. That's just another creature they're not going to draw in the future. So we Worldfire. Everything goes away. We get to draw a card. Alright, who draws better? I meant to tap out our lands there so we had mana floating in case we drew Riftbolt. Come on, lands! Oh my goodness, Worldfire. Alright. No land for our opponent, no land for us. Oh, Nykthos. Well, at least Nykthos is not good at casting things. Spirit Guide. Oh, come on, land! Oh, he can't crack it. Alright, come on, land. Steam Vents tapped. Alright, come on, more lands. At least we in Pyroclasm. Oh my, seriously? Land? They can't cast anything? Delta, oh, one of our fetches. Elvish Mystic. Oh, can we afford the Faithless Looting? I think we just need to exile Spirit Guide and Pyroclasm. Oh, oh my, oh, the Elf deck. Land. Oh my goodness. How many lands do they have? Like 15? Oh, seriously? Oh, I can't believe this. What are the odds? Oh, and there it is! It's just too late! Oh my goodness. Alright, it's time for Against Odds. Some more Worldfire action in Modern. Noble Hierarch. Let's see. Polluted Delta. Well, our life total is not likely to be relevant. So let's crack this, get a Steam Vents. Probe our opponent. Infect is a pretty fast clock. Glistener Elf, Mutagenic Growth, Rancor Vines of the Vastwood. Oy, well maybe we do die to real damage. Gifts. Well, let's suspend Rift Bolt, pass the turn. I guess if we live long enough we can also Gifts, but that's unlikely against Infect. Opponent probes. Yep, there's Glistener Elf. So we get to try to Rift Bolt it, but our opponent's going to use Vines to give it Hexproof. Yep, there's Vines. Well, that's looting. This could do it. Do we draw a... We need another probe. We draw the probe? Whew. Ooh, man. Well, now if our opponent doesn't kill us next turn, we get to Worldfire. So pitch Worldfire and Gifts. Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. Oh, man. We might have turn 3 Worldfire. Can they kill us? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7. If they drew an additional pump spell, then yes. They have double Mutagenic Growth. We know that. So if they have one more pump spell, then we're dead. Oh, they drew another Vines. And then there's... Yep, that's lethal. Alright. Oh my goodness. Turn 3 Worldfire and it still wasn't good enough. I mean, I guess we bring in our Pyroclasms. Go down a couple Rift Bolts and try it like that? Alright, game 2 against Effect. See if they kill us on turn 2 again. Alright, this is reasonable-ish. Yeah, Flooded Strand, get a Steam Vents, Faithless Looting. Against Infect, not really any good reason to try to maintain our life total. Looting, well, we pitch Worldfire and pitch... really want to pitch Looting. Can we pitch a land? That might be crazy. Yeah, let's pitch Shivan Reef. Pass the turn. See what our opponent has on turn 1. Breeding Pool, untapped. Ooh, tapped. Sweet. Probes. Alright, opponent ships the turn. We draw... Shivan Reef. Alright, Wooded Foothills, crack it, get a Steam Vents. Untapped. Ideas Unbound. So we draw 3, gotta discard 3 at end of turn. Another Pyroclasm and lands. Or do we discard the Pyroclasm? And then we could Looting. Yeah, we'll discard Looting, that's fine. Having 2 Pyroclasms might end up being important. Ship the turn. Spellskite. Alright, that's not what we were worried about. Oh, there's Spellweaver. Alright, let's go for it. Hopefully they can't destroy it. Spellweaver Helix. We get our Worldfire and our Faithless Looting. Then next turn we can flashback Faithless Looting for Worldfire, assuming our Helix is still alive. See if they have a Nature's Claim or something. Probe. Well, it's not a Nature's Claim. Alright, Hierarch. Also not Nature's Claim. I guess they could have like a Spell Pierce. Yeah, it casts a copy, so they could Spell Pierce it. Not Dispel, though. Yeah, let's see. Wooded Foothills. Alright. Yeah, let's try it. I mean, if they can Spell Pierce, they can Spell Pierce. Get to cast a Worldfire. Do you have a Spell Pierce? They do not. Alright, sweet. Well, everyone's down to 1. We draw 2, discard 2, unfortunately. Alright, let's see who can draw better. Our opponent peels a land. That is a good start. We also get a land, but we can't, neither one of us can crack it because they're fetch lands. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's the Rift Bolt. We just need red mana so we can suspend it. Come on, Simian Spirit Guide. Cloudscape, can't suspend. Oh my goodness. Oh, they drew actual mana. Spellweaver, oh my, come on! We have 4 Spirit Guides left. We really need a Spirit Guide. Spirit Guide? Oh, we just drew a mountain. Oh, we have 1 mountain in the deck. And after sideboarding, we had 1 Rift Bolt. And in our 4 draws, we drew a mountain and a rift bolt. Oh, sometimes you luck sack into it. That was sweet. Oh, because our mana is actually really bad after after Worldfire. We can't add red with the pain lands. We got to draw like steam vents, and we got there. Oh, this deck is actually oddly competitive. Oh my goodness. We have a single mountain and the Shivan Reefs, or Steam Vents, which I think we had 2 of left. Those were all of our red sources in our deck, and we had 1 Rift Bolt. The odds of us in 4 draw steps hitting the 1 Rift Bolt and an actual red source are pretty minuscule. Oh my lord. Okay, this is sort of reasonable. Gotta find a way to get Worldfire in the graveyard, but we got a Serum Visions and our Rift Bolt that we can potentially kill something with, and a Pyroclasm. Glistener Elf. Well, let's just turn 1, suspend Rift Bolt. Our opponent's only got 3 cards in hand because they mulliganed a bunch, so it might be hard for them to stop the Rift Bolt. Pendelhaven doesn't stop a Rift Bolt all by itself. Alright, opponent hits us for 1 poison counter. Alright, let's try to Rift Bolt this thing. If our opponent has to use a pump spell to save it, that's not the end of the world either, actually. That's a little annoying. Alright, they give it hexproof. That means we can't Pyroclasm to kill it. So that's Serum Visions. I guess we gotta bottom both of these. We actually don't have the blue mana for Ideas Unbound. Pass the turn. Ugh, and the Ink Moth. Well, we're gonna have to run well. It's gonna start with drawing blue for Ideas Unbound to get Worldfire in the graveyard, and then we're kind of in business, depending on how we draw. Here comes Glistener Elf. Alright, they pump it up. Well, there's at least a somewhat reasonable chance we get to kill Glistener Elf with Pyroclasm. What do we draw? Blue mana? Looting. Alright, let's looting. Ugh. Discard Worldfire and Gifts, I think. Then let's Gitaxian Probe, see what's in our opponent's hand. Oh, they have a Mutagenic Growth and a Nature's Claim. Jeez. Well, Serum Visions, still not a land. We do have Spellweaver. Alright, I think we can get our opponent to nothing. So let's put... Oh, it's going to take 2 turns though, isn't it? Oh no, we can just use Spirit Guide. Alright. So let's put Academy Ruins on the bottom, Gitaxian Probe on top, and then we just pass the turn, hope that our opponent taps out of green mana to attack with their Ink Moth and get in more poison. There's Ink Moth. Oh, they're going to Gitaxian Probe, okay. Alright, alright. We take 5 poison up to 8, but we get to Worldfire and hope for the best. So, exile Simian Spirit Guide, cast Spellweaver Helix, exile Gitaxian Probe and Worldfire, exile Simian Spirit Guide because we're going to have to discard it anyway, cast Gitaxian Probe for 2 life, cast a Worldfire, and we get to draw a card, which helps. Everyone's empty-handed, and we draw a mana source, which is good. Alright, who gets there first? No one can crack fetches. A lot of our opponent's decks turned off, and we just drew an actual mana source. So looting is an actual draw now. All of our cantrips are draws. Like 1 mana goes a long way in our deck. Flooded Strand, I should have held that in case we drew a Faithless Looting. Oops. Opponent passes. Gifts Ungiven is a long way away. We would settle for just like a Serum Visions, Gitaxian Probe, any of that stuff. Opponent passes. There's looting. Alright, let's looting. Pitch. Gifts and Wooded Foothills. Play a Shivan Reef. Whoo! Can we find a way to finish this game? That is the question. We have 2 Simian Spirit Guides left. Alright, fetch land can't be cracked, so that's not too scary. Spellweaver Helix is a long way away. I don't even think it does anything anymore. There's an Ink Moth. They can't activate it yet, though. Shivan Reef. Well, let's flashback looting. I guess we pitch Helix and Helix. Pass the turn. Oh man, are we going to lose after all this? If our opponent just draws a land, he can start attacking with Ink Moth. That's going to kill us kind of quick. Come on, no land. Alright, no land yet. Oh, come on, give us a draw. Alright, we get to suspend Cloudscape. Is it quick enough, though? Oh, the countdown is on. Oh, no land, no land. Oh, daggers! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, too slow. Oh, and they have a high arc? Well, I don't know how we win now. I don't think we can. Steam vents, too slow. Probe. Apostle's Blessing, Blighted Agent, Gataxian Probe. And there's our Spirit Guide. Oh, man! We should have won that match. Oh, this is a game of should-haves. Alright, against odds, Worldfire. Let's just lead on... Well, do we want to probe? Yeah, let's probe. Probe for 2 life. See what our opponent has going on over there. Ooh. Alicia, Electrolyze, Faithless Looting, Spell Pierce, and Lands. Spicy. And then Serum Visions. So we're looking for Worldfires and Spellweaver Helixes. Spirit Guide. Alright, Delta to the bottom, Faithless Looting to the top. Pass the turn. We kind of want to hold the second probe, so we can exile, eventually, a Worldfire, untapped Watery Grave. Let's just play a Faithless Looting. See if this draws out a counter. We can always exile the Spirit Guide if they try to Spell Pierce to pay. They let it go. Ooh. So we get to pitch a Worldfire and I guess an island and pass the turn. Now we're really just looking for our Spellweaver Helix, and we're probably even going to be able to get this Cloudskate suspended before we go off. Another land for our opponent. Probably Faithless Looting and leave up Spell Pierce, I guess. I do... Oh, nope. Nothing. Alright. So let's see. There's the Spellweaver Helix. Well, let's just suspend Cloudskate, play Polluted Delta, and pass the turn. We want to get one more land so we can pay for Spell Pierce, and then we can just win with Worldfire. And then that makes it easy. This deck is actually pretty sweet when it works right. Faithless Looting. They must have some infinite combo or something. I don't know why else you play Alicia. Land and Electrolyze gets discarded. Our opponent, I guess, could also draw more counters. Alright, Cloudskate is counting down. If we just... Yeah, alright, we're going to go for it. Spellweaver Helix. If our opponent tries to counter, we can exile Spirit Guide to pay for the Spell Pierce. Man, this is it. This is a nut draw. What is this, turn 4? And we actually have a win condition this time. Cloudskate coming down in 2 turns for the last points of damage. Wow, they let it resolve? Ooh. Alright, so we hit Worldfire and Gataxian Probe. Yup. Then we Gataxian Probe for 2 life. Get to cast our Worldfire. Maybe they're going to try to counter the Worldfire. Oh, we did it! This is a nut draw. We even got the Spell Pierce covered. Oh, so sweet. This combo is actually pretty consistent. If only we could consistently win. Oh, our opponent said, "Oh, I just realized what that did. Silly me for needing to RTFC, read the card." So we get to look at our opponent's empty hand, pass the turn. Oh, Cloudskate coming down for the win. Oh, this deck. Wait, does this have to target? Oh, we can play the land. Alright, play the land, pass the turn. That's not a May ability, is it? Yeah, you have to return a permanent to its owner's hand. That was a bit of an oversight. We got there, though! Turn 4, Worldfire kill. Oh my goodness. Well, considering they're playing Faithless Lootings, we might want Relics. I have no idea what their deck is trying to do, honestly. Let's just run it back. Not bad. Got a bunch of cantrips, got our Riftwing Cloudskate, got a Faithless Looting. We need a Worldfire, mainly. Well, let's lead on Probe, see what's... Well, do we even want to probe yet? Let's just Steam Vents into Faithless Looting. Riftbolt, land... What are we discarding? I guess we can discard the Riftbolt for now, and I guess a land? And then we'll probe, see what our opponent has going on. Alicia, Days Undoing, Delay, and lands. Spicy. Alright, pass the turn. Another land. Alright, let's just get this Cloudskate suspended. Need to find our Worldfire is the main thing. They don't have Alicia mana yet. Cloudskate's counting down. Polluted Delta. Alright, let's lead on Serum Visions. Land. Alright, land to the bottom. Ideas Unbound on top. Follow that up by Faithless Looting. Pitch Worldfire and a Let's just pitch an island. Play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. So we're pretty close. They do have that delay, which is annoying. They have Duress, so they're going to be able to take our Spellweaver. Yep. Cloudskate still counting down. Shivan Reef. Alright, let's just Faithless Looting here. Actually, maybe Ideas Unbound is better. Yeah, let's crack Polluted Delta. Get an island. And Ideas Unbound. Draw 3, discard 3 at the end of turn. Just got to keep churning through our deck to find another Spellweaver. Alright, so pitch Worldfire, Spirit Guide, Land? Yeah, let's pitch World Guides. So we actually have it set up for next turn. Unfortunately, this is going to come down beforehand, so we won't have a win condition. And we know our opponent has that delay, so they will probably delay our Spellweaver. Well, maybe they won't. Wow, that could end up being a big misplay for our opponent. Because we get to Riftwing, bounce an island, so they can't leave up delay. And then they're gonna need Spell Pierce, I guess, to win. We're still gonna be in the odd top deck war though. So play Polluted Delta, play our Spellweaver Helix. And our opponent scoops it up. We got there. we didn't have a win condition, but it didn't matter. Oh my goodness. So what did we learn this week? Well, the good news is I think our deck functioned pretty well. I was pretty impressed with how consistently we were able to play early Worldfires. The idea of just filling our graveyard with Faithless Looting and Ideas Unbound, playing a ton of spells, cantrips, Gitaxian Probe, Serum Visions, and so forth, really worked. It turned on Spellweaver Helix on turn 3 or turn 4 really consistently. So casting Worldfire was not a problem. The problem was we were not very good at winning after we cast a Worldfire. Like, more times than not, we would Worldfire and our opponent would outdraw us and we would lose. I don't think there was a single time when we cast, maybe once, when we cast Worldfire with a Cloudskate suspended, and we never had a Riftbolt suspended. So, I don't know. There needs to be a better way of finishing off the game. So I think that casting Worldfire and doing it early is pretty reasonable, but figuring out a way to take advantage of that is much more difficult. So one thing, as I was playing these decks, playing this deck, I thought of was that maybe the problem is Worldfire itself. Maybe that's just a hard card to build around. And it got me thinking, maybe what we should be doing is getting rid of Worldfires and playing Enter the Infinite in its place. And just use the same foundation of cantrips, Spellweaver Helix, cast and Enter the Infinite on turn 3 or turn 4, draw our entire library, and then we gotta be able to win with exiling Simian Spirit Guides into Conflagrate or something. So, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to make a competitive Worldfire deck just because there's not a competitive way to win after you wipe everything away and put everyone to 1 life. So that's the challenge of the deck. That said, overall, we went 6 and 7 in games, so we were almost 50% in games, and we won 2 out of our 5 matches. So we were 40% in matches. So we were actually pretty competitive with the Worldfire deck, despite its problems, and we definitely had 2 or 3 other games or matches where if we had run better after Worldfire, we could have won. So I was impressed with how competitive it was. Obviously, like I said, it's got its problems, it's got its inconsistencies, but we won a lot of games with it, so I was pretty happy with how it turned out, and it is really fun to play. You definitely get the good long pauses as you play a Spellweaver Helix and your opponent is trying to figure out what is happening and what you're doing, and then all of a sudden just the whole world is on fire and blows up, and then it's off to the races to see who can top deck out of it faster. Overall impression, it's playable, but I think Worldfire is too consistent to really be a tier 1 deck, obviously, and I'm curious and interested in checking out a very similar build with a similar structure without the Worldfire and like Riftwing, Cloudskate, Riftbolt package to try to win with Wildfire, and replace that with Enter the Infinite and Conflagrate, maybe a couple rituals, so we can just draw our entire library on turn 3 or turn 4, use spirit guides and rituals to cast a huge conflagrate and win the game on the spot. That seems like a much more guaranteed way to win the game with a very similar style build. Of course, it doesn't involve Worldfire, so it wouldn't really work for our against the odds. But and I hadn't even thought of that until I was playing these matches. I just kept thinking, man, I really wish that it was Enter the Infinite I was searching for and putting in our graveyard for Spellweaver Helix instead of Worldfire. So it might be worth investigating. I think I'm going to mess around with that build. And if you try it out, if you try out some Spellweaver Helix, Enter the Infinite, or Worldfire, make sure to let me know in the comments. Anyway, make sure to check out the website, mtggoldfish.com. That's where you'll find the article for this Against the Odds, the poll for next Against the Odds, decks, prices, metagame strategy, pretty much anything and everything you could want related to Magic the Gathering. And if you enjoyed our Worldfire in Modern Against the Odds, make sure to click the subscribe button and the like button that are about to pop up on the bottom of your screen. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed our videos, and I will talk to you soon.